Okay, I just got sort of inspired here by someone here, Aaron, over in the Netherlands. I work with him. He does videos, and he's doing some for my mud fossils, and I also do light experiments. And he sent me this thing from Michael Tellinger, which says how to create a star in a jar. Now I'm going to show you some video. I'm explaining to you. I have an idea for a possible efficient engine that wouldn't have any pollution at all. Hold on a second. Alright, now I'm doing this under the Fair Use Act, which means I can use it without asking anybody. I'm not making any money on it. It's for research and it's for commentary. Now, sonoluminescence, and this is this video, Levitation, Sonoluminescence, Cymatic Superconductivity by Tellinger. Now, watch this. Alright, I'm going to make comments as it goes along here. Alright, they're talking about water being affected by frequency.
The first time I saw sonoluminescence was in a darkened room. I was transfixed to look at this spherical flask of fluid. And you look into the center, and in the center see a glowing blue-purple light, which could be seen with the unaided eye. It looked like a star in the heavens.
Seth Putterman called it the star in a jar, a tiny spot of bright light contained in a flask of liquid.
Now, why did that happen?
This star in a jar is made when a sound wave is passed through a small bubble inside a flask of liquid.
Sound waves
And
are
this sound
vibration.
wave makes the bubble do something remarkable. First it expands, then it collapses. And this collapse happens so violently that vapor molecules trapped inside the bubble slam together and heat up so much that the bubble gives off an incredible burst of heat and light.
There's the key
several
right there.
thousand times a second, giving the appearance of a star.
Water is 100% uncompressible. This is the key.
What made the phenomenon so exciting was the temperature of this star in a jar. On its surface alone, the light burns at tens of thousands of degrees. And Seth Putterman now contemplated a tantalizing possibility. Could the core of the collapsing bubble be even hotter? Hot enough for fusion?
I don't think we need fusion.
One of the mysteries of sonoluminescence is to determine exactly how hot the interior of the bubble gets. In the sun, the interior can be millions of degrees, hot enough to cause fusion. And the thought crossed my mind that perhaps inside the collapsing bubble, the interior of the bubble might also get hot enough to cause fusion.
They're missing the expansion factor, I think.
If so, this would be something truly amazing. By simply bombarding tiny bubbles with sound waves, temperatures of over 10 million degrees would be created. And nuclear fusion, the same reaction that powers the sun,
Look, see, they go from
would be
little to
happening
big.
almost effortlessly
Look at what they do.
here on Earth.
All right, this is, just for anybody to try. If they can develop it, fine. It may be able to create some energy. You saw that thing could create, with frequency vibrations, it could create a swelling and a heat, which creates a swelling. There's no other way it can happen. It has to create a swelling. Now, my father told me, and I believe him, that water is uncompressible. It can't compress. H2O. Now I know there's heavy water too, which is denser. Now, if you had this and this filled with water, separated with a wall in between, and a piston that can float back and forth in that wall, tied with some kind of a crankshaft type of device. As it goes back and forth, it's going to be able to do something like that. So, you know, a little engineering there, no big deal. You've got a crystal here, a power source, 180 degrees out. That one turns on. It does this inside of that water, forces that. There's no option, because if my father's right, and he's a pretty smart guy, that has to go. Now, when that shuts off, as I said, it does a zillion times a second, so I would assume this will collapse right away. That turns on, poof, 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 doot, 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 and you drive down the road for free. I don't know, no, not for free. I'm sure it is some kind of, you know, nothing's free. But somebody look into it. It is no combustion, you know, there's not going to be any burning, there's no combustion, there's no nothing. And who knows, it might work.